and this time we're doing yellow, the last color. If you haven't seen red and blue, I recommend seeing red and blue first, and then coming to yellow. Anyway, first card, Lazaro Jumping Heart, Yoshiko Tsushima. It's a 002k. When it attacks, choose a character. That character gains 500 power for the turn. That includes Yoshiko herself, which makes this, like, pretty good. And then you've got, at the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may put the top card of your deck in the waiting room. If it's a music character, you may move this to any empty slot in the front row. We've got the runner that we've alluded to several times.
Mill runners are good.
Yeah.
By extension, this is good. I mean, it traded 500 power consistently for the ability to pump by 500 power whenever it attacks. This card is good, and you are probably going to run this at maximum count.
Yeah, I think this is a 4-of. You can run, like, this card is fine because instead of the 500 power, which is worthless from level 1 onwards, you can give 500 power to other cards, which is also very low value, but it's higher value than this card having 2-5 base.
Yeah, definitely. That extra power could matter.
It could, but it's still not very likely to matter. Anyway, let's give that a good rating, because it's just a plus at level 0.
Yeah.
What can I say?
It's also not very interesting.
Alright, now for the card that everyone is going to look at and wonder why it's a double R. So, it's a 2/2 Ruby Kurosawa. So it's a 2/2, which means it has some pretty big boots to fill. Like, it has to be pretty damn good. So the first thing, for each of your other music characters, this gains 500.
8/5.
It's fine. That makes it to an 8/5, which is still slightly below spec. When this is placed from hand to stage, if you have 4 more other music characters, you may choose a music character in waiting room and add it to stock.
2/1
So it's become a 2/1 8/5, which is actually on par. Like, that's on curve. That's a vanilla. And
You remember that it is a Crusoe.
yes, it is it's a 2/1 2 soul, which is above curve actually. Thank you for correcting me. And it's got, at the start of each player's attack phase, if Aquarium Ruby is in the waiting room, we'll get to Aquarium Ruby and why you'll be running 4 of it in every deck that can. Well, you can run 3, I suppose, but I think 4 is probably correct. If that's in your waiting room, then this card gains 1k and hexproof.
That is so weird. So we got to
Yes.
2/1, 2 soul, 9/5 hexproof? That's what we got to?
Yes.
That's actually
And
playable.
you can advance some of
alright.
this.
That's actually
You can
playable.
advance summon it.
Yeah.
I don't think you advance summon it, but you can advance summon it.
I don't think you would
But I
advance
think
summon
better
it.
off. I think personally better off play as a level 2 1 cost 2 soul beat.
Like, this is actually
That's
playable.
actually sizable.
2/1
absolutely
9/5 is
agree.
very reasonable.
2/1
I
9/5
think
2
this is-
soul.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever seen a level 1 and a level 2 that link to each other in terms of that advanced summon, and I want to play both, but I don't want to play the combo that advanced summons them.
No, like you. This is actually quite good. Yeah. Again, a 1 cost 2 soul beat. That's actually sizable.
Yeah, like, this card is just fine. I think it's very playable. It'd be one of those last cards you add though. Like, you don't start with it in the main deck because you do
No.
have the next card we're about to talk about. But I do think that this is, like, a perfectly serviceable card, and I'm happy to give it a playable rating. I'm not sure why a lot of people call this just a completely unplayable card. Those people are overreacting. Like,
They
at its
are.
base level,
Definitely.
this is just a fine card. It's not like backbreakingly good, but it is not bad in the slightest. Just because it reads 2/2 doesn't mean it's not playable.
It's also convenient that it stocks from waiting room instead of top.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a blind stock, which is actually
Clean stock.
clean stock is always good. Anyway,
Especially because you might be refreshing around the time you play it, which makes it less good, obviously, but it still has that one nice swing.
alright. Look, I'm giving it a playable. I don't think it gets playable plus. I don't think it gets anything else.
No.
It just gets a playable.
Yeah.
Alright, Honimaru Alice Jumping Heart. It's a 3/2 9/5. If you have 2 or fewer climaxes in waiting room, this gets -1 level in hand, and it's a heal. It also has, when Alice Jumping Heart Honimaru is placed in the climax zone, if this is in the front row, choose up to 1 music character in your waiting room, add it to stock, and this gains 3k until the end of the opponent's next turn.
So I read
So,
3/2 early play healer, 9/5
yes,
power.
there is no other effect on it. So the climax for
I think the climax combo is usable.
I think it's usable in like a mono yellow deck that completely ignores the existence of red.
Or blue, even.
Uh,
Blue has a good finisher on a
or
climax
blue even,
combo.
yeah. So this doesn't actually add anything to
I don't know.
the
I
finishing.
feel like being able to wall, especially you play it in conjunction with the 2-1 counter,
But
and then you play a combo, it becomes pretty
you're talking about a
huge.
12-5 power wall. I mean, I guess 14-5 with the 2-1 back row, that helps.
And you're also starting from waiting room, which will
The problem
basically
with a
make
12-5 me is that even if you're 3-12-5s, Yami is still going to confirm 5 damage. Like,
And
I
then
understand
hand
that
on Chord
walls are
money counter
fine,
you.
but like in the late game, a wall in Weiss is not a power wall. It's going to be
No.
something like Shinobu. It's going to be something like a defensive scry, or an on-attack scry, or any index card that threatens you to use healing magic. Like, your priorities change, and while I do think that the stocking effect is nice, I also don't think it's worth running the climax and missing out on either Yo or Kinan, which is Kanan rather.
Yeah.
you actually think Kanan's more useful just because it has the restand potential.
Yeah.
I actually do think so.
I think restand alone is worth
I guess
taking.
I'm gonna go with the agree to disagree here.
No, that's fine. Like, opinions differ.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that this card is playable on merit of being an advanced summon heal. I don't even think I want to go to playable plus. Like, it is a heal, that's nice. It's advanced summon,
I'll
that's
give
nice.
it playable plus.
That's fine, yeah. Like, I think this is just less good than Yo and actually less good than Kanan, yeah.
I think it's only playable as well. The fact that it requires a climax combo to get the stock means that even if you do it, you traded a card in your hand for an extra stock. And your reward is a 12-5. And as we mentioned,
Like-
without anything else going on, it dies to all the early play assassins in this own set.
Let's assume for a moment that Yo didn't exist. If this card read instead of the 3k power, instead it gave like, I don't know, 1-5, but instead of to supplement that, you also got to search a character from your deck.
Then I'm playing
If that
this
were
card.
the case, then I would play this card.
But now you're
But
talking about it
unfortunately-
stocks 1, gains power, and searches? That's insane.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that still doesn't push you towards winning, but you can play the deck like a compression deck, and that would be perfectly serviceable because you keep advantage. Unfortunately, that's not how it goes here. So I don't think it's worth playing as your late game in like a meta deck. What do you reckon, Beenly? You've been quiet for a bit.
I just don't like why are they giving yellow like till the end of your opponent's turn?
The colour-
I mean,
the colour
we
Yeah,
had a
the
lot of
color-
cards breaking.
For
we
the
had a lot-
same
we had a lot
reason-
of- we had a lot of breaking trends.
For the same reason why Index only runs cards that are big on your own turn.
Even though it's like a bajillion blue cards.
freaking the stupid 1-0 it's joke, like that's the definition of a yellow card. You get
Actually.
to become 7k on your turn, become 3k on the
Yeah, I
opponent's
mean,
turn.
even
Like,
that earlier to Ruby was somewhat like a blue card. Well,
Yeah,
it's like a pseudo
it's-
green.
I mean, hexproof is traditionally a yellow effect.
Yeah, it is.
But that's fair enough. Look, I think that that's the judgment on Honimaru from each of us, and we can just move on to the next card, which is also Honimaru, Aquarium Honimaru. This is a 0025 that gains 1/5 if you have 2 or fewer cards in your stock. Hey, now Prez gets to talk about Devil Survivor here. It's the first thing that came to my mind, anyway.
First thing that came to my mind was the weapon girl from Nisekoi, because that was the first time I saw the effect. But also Devil Survivor.
I know. Yeah, like it's a common in Devil Survivor. Well, it's a 4 because Devil Survivor has no cards. But what can I say? We covered Yoshiko. This card is niche because it goes in the waifu deck and nothing else.
Yeah, it's just base beater, and you have a runner, so you don't need beaters. And even if you needed beaters, you also have a bomb, so you don't need beaters.
I do agree. I mean, it is a pretty free 4K. There's nothing wrong with that, aside from the fact that there are better
It's
cards.
just like the context of this title, it doesn't really win out.
I mean, usually like beaters are filling the filler role, right? But if you have
Yeah.
bombs that usually fill the filler role in first, and runners that filled in the filler role before the bombs, and then the utility cards that happen before
a
the
runner
beaters.
A filler roll.
Well, the runner is an advantage, so
Yeah.
but like, and then you're running the utility cards that get put in before the beaters, you just ran out of cards by utility.
Yeah.
Like your brainstorms and stuff. You just don't have space.
No.
Yeah, it's more of an opportunity cost than this card actually being bad.
Yeah.
So let's move on to an actually really dumb card. Aquarium Ruby. It's a 1/0 4K. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may discard a card. If you do, look it up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, add a music character to hand, ditch the rest. So yeah, that's all it does. That's all it does. It has no other effect. Don't try to convince me. All right,
that's all.
We have to talk about the other effect. So it's got a climax combo.
Triggered.
Unfortunately, with the wind climax. When the wind climax is placed in the climax zone, you may pay 1 and sack this. If you do, choose the 2/2 double. Choose up to 1 2/2 double R in your hand and put it in the slot this was in. Now I have to mention you can choose 0, so you can just play the climax, pay 1, kill this card, and do nothing.
I don't know why you would do that on your own turn, but more power to you.
Why?
More power to you.
To punish yourself for attempting to play the combo.
The mind game.
Okay, so this card.
Max meaning.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's an auto for us.
So it is this effect is a neg. Well, if you play 1 and summon 1 ruby, it's a -2. Because you have to play the climax and then you kill this to summon the ruby from hand. Now
-1 more.
I should mention that you actually get to replenish that stock because you play the ruby from hand, which means you're basically sacking this in order to and playing a climax to play the 2/2 onto the field. The issue with that is, if you try to make that your main level 1 plan, you're going to find you don't have very many cards in hand. And having very few cards in hand is not a good idea right now. Especially because this card's other effect involves you, well, not plussing, but going +0, I suppose.
Filtering.
Yeah. It is worth noting that if you do change, you'll automatically have the 2/2 ruby's effect in that you'll have killed one of this ruby in order to turn that effect on. But I don't think that's worth it. I don't think advanced summoning is a thing you should do.
At one point, Impulse was a good card in Magic, and this is basically Impulse. It's actually better.
Impulse. Well, I mean, Impulse doesn't give you a body, so rather than being Impulse, it's more like an improved Augur of Bolus or like a Glintless Crane that could hit everything.
Sure, that makes sense. I approve of this.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, it's not like a Glintless Crane because Glintless Crane goes +1.
Well, it gets you an artifact.
It's like Forbidden Alchemy, I suppose.
Wait, how is it +1? It's a body and then it searches from the top 4.
Correct, it floats.
But it's also a 1/2 flyer, or 1/3 flyer. Jeez.
Yeah, the thing is you get a 1/3 flyer and replaced itself in hand for 2 mana.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, this card is one of the reasons you play this set. It's still not widespread enough that I can call this anything but meta. Like, this is good plus meta. I never do this, but I'm feeling generous. So the reason this effect is strong is because, firstly, milling 4 is very powerful the first time through, because once you get to the end of that, once you've milled out your deck, you are automatically more compressed. You have taken cards out, and hopefully you still have 7 to 8 climaxes. This aids in that. The second is this is a costless discard outlet, which also aids in compression by discarding excess climaxes you don't want at points in time. It's also a hand fixer, so you can get those cards you want to hand, like Yo, or the 2/1 Chica, or 1/0 Bombs, whatever. You can get them all to hand because this card lets you look at the top 4 and gives you card selection, like Impulse. That's why I don't think the secondary effect is needed at all, and this card still gets the highest possible rating from me, because I still think this is just the most broken effect in modern Weiss Schwarz, and they need to stop printing it because it's just really... It's making the game a lot less interesting.
If anything, at least it's at level 1 versus level 0 combo.
Yeah. Basically, Japan doesn't play a deck a lot unless it has one of these effects, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, or East Asia in general.
Something about Tulavu not getting played because of that.
There's
Tulavu is a whole different story.
I mean, Tulavu has 2 of this effect. It actually has more than the average set.
It just doesn't have it in
not
the
in
good
the deck
builds.
that matters.
This card's 200 yen also on UUT.
Is it only 200?
I mean,
card-
it's a
Yeah.
rare. It's a rare. It's a level 1.
So
That's
I've
still
seen
above
780
average.
yen rares.
Yeah, no, this is still above 200. Still above average for a rare. Look, I don't think there's any expensive card in Love Life Sunshine outside the double R's, right?
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
just the Chica and the Yo would be expensive, and the Yoshiko and
Actually,
The
Honimaru
Rico.
is pretty high.
The Rico. The Brain
Hanamaru is what,
The
like
Rico
980?
is pretty high. The Honimaru
Oh,
is
of
like,
course, Rico's a brainstorm. Yep. All three red RLs are
Honimaru
just...
is actually at like 1480 yen last I checked.
Look, I'd believe that, but I don't know if they're playing with the climax. I really don't think they are, but whatever. Like, it's an advanced sum heal. Anyway,
I don't know. One can make an
that's-
argument that
that's my rating.
it's a hard.
No, I think good meta plus is appropriate here.
Yeah.
It also conveniently combos with a very solid 2 filler. 2/1, 2 soul, 9/5 hexproof.
I think the actual good combo here is with the 1-0 Chica, because you fill your graveyard and get better selection for the Chica reverse.
That's also nice. Yeah, it's a nice bonus.
And also for Rico salvage brainstorm.
Yes, I think that it actually combos better with the red double R's than its own double R.
This is true.
So there you go.
Sick.
Very, very good card. If you're not running 4, you're definitely doing something wrong, no matter which build you're playing of this deck.
Yeah, I think this card is just great. Anyway, next card, Honimaru Kunikida. This is what? It's a 1065. If the level of this opposite is higher than the level of this, so if it can't front attack level 2s or higher, basically. It's 1065. I have no issue with this card.
I have issue
I
with
guess-
this effect. I always have issue
I mean,
with this
yeah,
effect. You've
you
always
can't run it in. That's a problem, and that is a problem. That means it, like,
I would do it
it
against
sees
sponsor.
play.
Playable minus.
Like, it sees play. Like, this card is in Triad Primus. It's in Excel World.
as
But
2
it's-
words at most.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, this is
don't
just
run
not...
you don't run for these things.
So
There's a reason why this one effect gives it an entire 1k, because it is a pretty significant drawback in the late game.
it comes all back to this is a straight up dead draw in the late game. If your opponent
Yeah.
has a field, this is a completely dead draw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and-
fine. Just play one of your rubies and discard it and get a better character.
I mean, I'm not saying you don't have outs, but I'm saying like that the fact that you can get screwed makes
Yeah.
this card very, very unpleasant for me. I'd rather not.
I think that's reasonable. I don't think you need to play this because there are perfectly serviceable red 1-0s. This
Four
card is
1-1s.
fine, and it also has the like a certain
do-
anime
I'll-
lover would play this
I'll just
shit.
personally do this plus.
Look, it comes in foil, which is always a benefit.
I actually end
This
up
is a
pulling-
playable
I actually end
minus.
up pulling that.
Why did they give this a secret rare? I'm confused.
It's just because Dengeki art. You
Right.
see, there's actually a trend with the non-SP rare, or with
she's
all
doing-
the foils.
She's doing like a
Oh, the
choir
SP.
thing in the actual art.
Look, that's
Quick
fine.
trivia: the magazine's mentioning that she is part of a choir.
Well, I mean, like,
Oh.
she's in church garb, and she is reading from,
Yeah.
like, a folder. Like, I've done choir before. I know what this looks
Yeah.
like.
And it's mentioning that it's there because there's official kind of material from a magazine that says this.
Well, regardless, moving onward, I guess.
Yashuko Tsushima. This is a stupid meme card.
She's a
It's a
tuning.
2/2. Yeah, she is. She's 2/2/7. Why does she actually have the demon trait? She's a 2/2/7.
There's a
She-
Chunobyo trait.
she
There's, like,
thinks
a
that
trait
she is a
specifically for
fallen
this.
Angel.
Yeah, I'm aware, but there's actually a Chunibyo trait. Why doesn't she have that? For each marker under this, it gains 1k power. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may put the top card of your deck under this as a marker. Discard 2 cards from your hand. When this becomes reversed in battle and you have 4 more other music characters, you may pay cost. If so, rest this and reverse the battle opponent.
That is hilarious.
I remember when this effect cost 4.
This effect existed before?
Accelerator from the very first index set.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
No,
the cost of
what
reverse
actually makes
was...
it slightly sad. Or continue before I.
Yeah, no, like, it makes sense in context to Accelerator because, you know, he controls directions, he makes it so he doesn't reverse, and so his opponent reverses directions, you know. But yeah, no, this card
Wait,
is.
I thought he explicitly controlled vectors. Vectors are direction with
Yes.
length. That matters.
Right,
Yeah.
he changes his
Anyway,
vector.
enough about physics.
So his vector goes from being rested to reversed back to reversed to rested. There's the vector, okay?
I don't think you
So this card
understand how
gets-
this works.
No, look. If he actually controlled vectors and physics worked like it does in the real world, then there is no reason why Mikoto wouldn't just beat the absolute shit out of him. Because electricity is composed entirely of things moving in one direction. Otherwise, it would never manifest. Anyway, Yoshiko Tsushima, 2275. It's a niche card because it goes in the waifu deck. You would never play this in a serious deck.
I will say this about her though.
Wait, but I
She's
thought
apparently the
Mikoto
only-
controlled magnetism, and electricity was a
No,
byproduct of that.
No, she.
I will say this about this Yoshiko. And it's actually a little sad that this is actually a fact, but this is technically the only real proper anti-change card in that, yeah, he could reverse anything, but with a very hefty cost of discard too.
I mean, that's fair.
It's worth mentioning.
It is yellows only, yeah, I suppose. It is a very heavy cost, but you do get a marker for it. Woo.
Wait, forces are measured in vectors, and electricity is a force.
Gosh,
Yeah.
darn it.
So you can, in fact, redirect electricity using vectors.
I am aware.
So I don't
But
understand
if you
what was
control
your...
electricity. Okay, sure, but how many vectors are contained in one lightning bolt?
Well, I mean, if you're just simplifying mathematically, there would only be one vector.
Can you simplify mathematically?
Probably.
Is that how it?
Oh my god. Gosh, darn it.
Like,
Are we really
I'm just-
gonna go
I-
like Neil deGrasse
It's been,
Tyson
it's
here?
been it has been a long time since I did anything physics related, so I'm just going to just accept that I'm probably wrong.
Okay,
and
Neil
move on.
deGrasse Tyson, let's stop.
probably.
Aquarium Yoshiko.
And Bill Nye.
Aquarium Yoshiko, this is level 3, and I think this card actually makes it to the main deck. 3/2 10k. When this is placed from hand to stage, bounce one of your opponent's characters, and this gains 2k for the turn.
Up to one, not necessarily have to.
Yes, bounce up to 1. So if you don't want to bounce 1, you don't have to. 1 cost, ditch a card from hand to waiting room. When it attacks, you may pay cost. If you do, all your characters gain 500 power and 1 soul. All
Alright.
your music characters. But that's everything.
Nice.
Yes.
So
This card
they
is
have
good.
they have an anti-burn, like
Mm,
because they're
that's it.
playing Log Horizon. Nice.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's pretty solid.
Like a boss away against giving the -2 soul.
I've
Yeah.
played tutus in Devil Survivor with the pay 1 ditch, give all my characters +5/+1 soul, and it's done work for me there.
Look, I don't think that's an effect that you'll be using the first turn, because when you come to play, if you're not bouncing an anti-burn, you're probably bouncing a front row in order to give one of your other characters 1 extra soul anyway.
But if that's a 1 soul character, then now everything's attacking for 3.
You don't need everything to attack for 3, though. And hopefully
You
you're
can
playing
always
like...
attack second.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
also an option.
Like, hopefully you're just playing this alongside something like the Yo combo, or you could just slam 2 zeros on this and then just like smack them for a bunch of damage. But
Good
I
times.
don't know. I think this card has a lot of little things it can do. Like, it can add soul by bouncing front row. It can counter anti-burn. It can make things tiny by bouncing huge supports. It can completely shut off some cards. Like, suddenly Tri Primus Rin doesn't seem so scary when you can either bounce it or its support. Like, there's a lot you can do with this card because it's a come and play 12k, and that's already pretty decent. I like the versatility. I like this as a one-off. Especially since the Yo Watanabe lets you just salvage anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty up on this card. It's a playable plus for me.
I agree.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Next card, Ruby Kurosawa. This is the come and play shot we were talking about. If you're curious about the picture, she's being molested by a dog.
By a
So 3
dog.
2 10k by a dog.
Yeah.
This activates up to once a turn. When this is placed from hand to stage, if damage dealt by this is cancelled, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. So we're trying to confirm 1 damage here. When a climax is placed at a climax zone, this gains 1/5 for the turn. And you have pay 2 choose one other character and this character, and they both gain 1 soul for the turn.
I like this effect too.
I think that this is just a very solid level 3 standalone card.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, playable.
Yeah, I've got no issue with it. I think it's a solid playable.
I'll give it more of a playable minus, I guess. Just because
I think this is
there
probably
are
going to
cards
be
that
the
definitely
secondary
outshine
finisher of
this.
choice.
I would err more on playable plus than playable minus, to be honest. I think it's a very solid card.
I am sticking to this net playable. I generally treat most secondary finishers as net playable, but the soul control is very solid.
I like it.
Yeah.
Alright. Hopeful newcomer Yashuko Tsushima. It's a 00500.
She does that. She just has the demon trait on like.
Yeah, apparently.
She's wearing this kind of outfit.
When this is reversed in battle, you may pay the cost of paying 1 and sending this card to memory if you have 2 more other music characters. And if you do that, like if you have 2 or more other musics and you pay 1 and send it to memory, draw up to 2 cards and discard 2 cards. This was almost a great card. It was almost draw 2, drop 1. That would have been fantastic.
That would have been broken.
But it would have been pretty damn powerful. But as it stands, all it does is dig really deep for your combo and not be very good. Otherwise, you're paying 1 to +0. That effect can be extremely strong in conjunction with a plus in climax.
I mean, wait. But like, pay 1 +0 is like pretty standard for level 0.
Yes. But you'd rather be selective with your pay 1 +0s.
This is true.
This is not selective. This is just draw
selective.
2. Hope you hit your climax. Don't hit your climax. Be sad.
For me, in context, the fact that you are fairly reliant on your level 1 climax combo, and any junk you draw, you can filter with your 1/0, makes this card more playable for me.
Yeah, no, it's still a playable card. I don't hate this card. I think it's still fine. It filters. Filtering is strong in this game.
I just think like this particular card is stressing. It's just hard to find room for something like this.
Yeah, that is the problem. There's like you need to fit runners, you need brainstorms, you need bombs. You want the blue cards. There's just not a lot of room for this card. I think you do play this in the stupid meme build. I can't remember whether or not you've got a level 0 coin flip card. But if you do, then you definitely play this.
There's no 0 for that.
Okay, good. When that card eventually comes out, then you can play this in the meme build, because that's probably fine. Alright. Next card. Oh, I don't want to read this name. Johannes
also
Summers.
has demon trait.
Yeah, Johannes Summers, Little Demon number 4, Ruby Kurosawa.
Number 4?
001. Yeah.
Because, well, spoiler alert.
Yeah, let's
get all dressed in like these Scorpio clothes to like be like Yoshiko's little demons for a while.
0015. 1 cost, ditch a card from hand. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If you do, search for a music character, add it to hand.
It's a drop searcher. It's playable.
It is exactly a drop searcher. I don't think it's playable. There's way too many discard outs in this deck.
I think it's still
and
playable.
I don't think
Playable minus.
Yeah, playable minus is what I'm giving it. You might want to like search a specific card from deck, because there's a lot of discard. There's a lot of gaining from discard in this deck, and this does approach from another axis. But I still don't think it's particularly special.
No.
All right. Tokyo Coordinate, Ruby Kurosawa. This activates up to once a turn. When you use a startup ability, choose a character. That character gains 500 power. Brainstorm, spammable. Pay 1, flip over the top 4. For every climax, search a music character, add it to hand, then discard a card.
I mean, it's fine. You don't need it though, because you have.
Yeah, pretty unnecessary with all your cards we established before.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you could play it because you want to have a 2k counter. You want to turn your 1/5 counters into 2k counters, but you could just play a global 500. Like that does the same thing.
Yeah.
And
you can also play it just if you feel like you need more milling for some reason.
You don't.
You don't.
Because I'm thinking of pay a bajillion stock out.
You really don't.
Yeah,
No, it's
that's so I'm not a big fan. I think it's playable anyway because brainstorms are only so bad.
Yeah, it's just you don't need this.
Yeah.
Playable minus maybe.
No,
I don't think
it's
so.
not.
I think it is. It's just fine.
You just don't play it.
Special. Alright, regular outfit, Honimaru Kunikida.
It's a
It's a
vanilla counter.
1015 backup. It's playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standard combat trick, standard costless combat trick. You don't have very much to back up in this set, but even so, in the decks that do want you to have backup, like the mono blue deck, this is perfectly fine.
It's costless.
That card.
Next.
Alright. Fallen Angel mode deactivated, Yashuko Tsushima. It's a 105.
She lost the demon trait.
Yeah, she did.
Because this is her, like, kind of going, the fuck is that Johannes? What am I doing with my life?
I
Yeah,
think
she
that's
actually
fair
has,
when
like,
you're
she
calling
actually has a
yourself
moment.
demon.
Yeah, it
Seems
actually
good.
has.
Yeah, it's a 105k. Gets -1 level on stage. When this is placed from hand to stage, from waiting room to stage. So when
Yeah, I
it's
guess it's
changed
okay.
out. When it's changed out, this gains 500 power and 1 soul for the turn. And then it has a change effect. Sack this, so no stock cost, no nothing. You're just swapping this with a card in the waiting room. You may pay cost at your climax phase. If you do, choose a... look, we'll get to that card eventually. It's a common. But that one gets a whole bunch of power, basically.
In general, the swap change effects are usually not worth it because they're hugely impactful on deck building space. I'm going to go ahead and set this one to niche,
Yeah.
but it might actually be bad.
It's the waifu deck.
It's
combo.
niche.
Notably,
Yeah, it's niche.
No, it's not
notably,
completely
despite
terrible.
the Fallen Angel mode being deactivated, she still lost the level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she leveled up because she was a fallen angel. Now she's just a random girl.
She's just a girl who's pissed off that she even did cringy things.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why she
We'll
gets the
talk
demon
about
trait
this a bit
instead
more
of
when we come
Chinugyo.
to the other card, but it's nothing special. Like, this getting an extra soul is neat, I suppose.
Whatever.
Next card. Precious
She's
Friends
actually
Ruby
does solo
Kurosawa.
things.
Precious Friends Ruby Kurosawa is a 115k. During your turn, this gets 3k, and it has clock on. There you go, Beenly. This is the standard yellow, very yellow color pie card.
Actually, yeah. So, two
Or
very yellow
118k.
as
with
fuck.
fuck off.
I guess
Be
one thing I
aggressive.
noticed about the Tsushima that I didn't notice before is that it doesn't need to be standing at your climax phase to change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all of them.
That's relevant,
That's
though.
a lot.
That's actually
It
relevant.
means you can tap it for effects.
Yeah, I mean.
Well,
like,
I mean, sorry, it doesn't need to be rested. It just needs to be on the stage.
Yeah.
That's relevant. For climax phase changers, they usually need to be rested. They need to have
No,
not
you
died.
You gave out.
No,
Encore.
That's
Oh, no, sorry, that's
that's
encore step.
phase,
Encore
man.
step.
I'm sorry. What
Yeah.
the?
I'm like so
Yeah.
confused right now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What the
let's just ignore all that. This 1/1, I don't know if you want to play it even in the mono yellow deck.
Let's see. What have we already gotten to in mono yellow?
Only the Azusa and like a 1/1.
I mean, those are both. I guess there's also the
And
1065.
respect level one.
Yeah, you've got the 1065 cannot side. That's what I meant, not a 1/1.
Yeah. And
Those
then
are
if
the
you're
two
talking
you
about
want.
not mono yellow, you're running 4 bombs, four of the 10, and probably 2 of the 1065. So you're looking at 10. So you might have 2 flex spots level 1. This is definitely not taking either of those.
I don't think you play this card. It
No.
doesn't like no. I don't think this
Playable
matters.
minus.
It's like yeah, it's really big on your turn, but if it ever gets countered, then you just lost the game pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely on. It's not even playable minus. It costs a stock.
Yeah.
It's
I
niche.
call it
It's niche.
Yes.
All right. Next card, Precious Friends Honimaru Kunikida, 1/6k. If you have 3 or more other music characters, this gains 1k power, so it's a 1/7k. When we want to shine Honimaru, Ruby, and Yoshiko, yeah, so this is the trio one. In this, excuse me. In this particular instance, the trio climax is again the stock soul. So when this is placed into your climax zone, when that's placed into climax zone, if this is in the front row, check the top card of your deck. If it's a music character, all your characters gain 2k for the turn.
God, that is awful.
Yeah, it just doesn't do
Yes.
anything.
No.
Again, if you're playing the mono yellow deck, you'd much rather play the level 1 advanced summon and just use the advanced summon as your advantage in terms of not dying. And then you want to probably cap it off with the Honimaru combo, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah,
Next.
I don't think mono yellow is going to be very good. I just call that card bad. Pretty Girls Arrival at School, Yoshiko Tsushima. It's a 2/1 level X, and it's got a combo of the same climax. When that climax is placed, choose a character that gains 3k for the turn.
Yeah, this seems almost strictly worse than the 2/1 plus 2k to level 3s or higher, because that's really the only thing that matters.
It should be noted that this is better with specifically the 2/2s in the set.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I don't think this is. I don't think this is particular. It's a vanilla level X for all intents and purposes.
I think that's enough for me to say it's not even playable, relatively speaking.
So niche.
Niche at
Mhm.
best.
It's niche.
It's minus.
Yeah, right. A place for Maru, Honimaru Kunikida, is a 2/1/6/5. If you have 3 or more other music characters, this gains 1k in character encore, so it becomes a 2/1/7/5 hand encore. That's pretty awful. And then when another music character attacks, this gains 1/5 for the turn. So if it attacks last, it's a 10/5 without supports.
There was another 2/1. Oh no, that was a 1/1/7/5 with hand encore. This is awful.
Mhm.
I don't think this even qualifies as filler, especially because if you're in yellow, you have a 2/1/9/5 hexproof 2 soul.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Bad.
We're just like going down the list in order, right? Like that's.
Sorry, sir.
So this is bad.
Yeah.
If you're playing a 2/1, you have a better 2/1 in yellow. That's all it is.
Yeah, more or less. Alright, onto the commons. Smile clouded by sadness, Yoshiko. During your turn, all other characters gain 500. During your turn, all other characters with Yoshiko in the name in the front row center slot gain 1k. And when my favorite look is placed to the climax zone, so that card, I don't actually know what climax that is. It's a 2k1 soul.
Oh god.
2k1, alright. Yeah, when that's placed to the climax zone, choose the character. That character gains 1/5 and the ability. This cannot be chosen as a target of the opponent's effects.
Yeah, this is
So
bad.
this actually pumps like all of your slots. Like it pumps the middle slot by default. The climax combo pumps one of the other slots, and then the climax pumps the third slot. But
In the end,
I don't-
you're playing a
Taking it a little too
2k1
deep.
at level 0 combo to do fucking nothing.
this is the definition of niche. This only goes in the Yoshiko waifu deck, and I
Does
don't
it
think
even
that
go
goes
in that deck?
particularly-
No, I
I-
don't even. I mean,
surely
yes,
it
it
does,
specifies Yoshiko, but no.
I don't think it even
Sure
goes in
it
that
does.
deck.
I mean, okay, maybe you could make a case for it, but I wouldn't even call it news.
Mm,
This card,
There's not much options for Yoshiko anyway, so it's
Yeah,
kinda better.
Yoshiko's got better
You
stuff.
have to play it?
I wouldn't actually know. I haven't looked into the waifu decks.
I mean, you will only play if, spoiler, we get to a 1-3 event, and for some reason you
Oh,
don't
God.
have like level 1s to play.
There's just no way this card is playable, right?
No,
There's just no way.
Yeah, no.
let's get
It's not playable. It's I'm gonna call it niche.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
I like how about 2K1s right now.
I'm gonna stay to bad. There's just no way. There's just no way this card is at all like remotely considerable.
I mean, sure, man, that's fair enough. Tokyo coordinate Honimaru Kunikida, 00500. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may tap this and another standing character. If you do, charge 1 stock.
That's not.
You could play this with
Alright.
the ones. Play it with the 1/0 Yoshikos because they don't need to be standing to change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
do
isn't,
that.
this isn't
It's still
terrible.
really dumb.
It's not
Yeah.
It's still
good,
dumb.
but it's not terrible.
It has some applications, I
It gets
guess. I
niche.
think it's a niche card. Like I don't think it's straight up bad. Like you could
We're
do
doing
things
this
with it.
plus or what?
No, just niche.
I don't think it's no, not niche plus. Niche plus has to be like a pretty damn good card.
It's like a niche card that's worth building around.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Next card. Application to the club. Ruby Kurosawa 00500. 500 in front, and when you have that stock soul, choose 2 characters to gain 1k for the turn. Bad, because why would you ever do that?
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm just completely
Vanilla.
no. No, bad. And then all right, this next one is this is supposed to combo with the 1/0 DR? It's
I mean, it could be
It's
it could be Eggy Diet, but yeah, it technically is supposed to correspond with Gag.
Yeah.
You're not running
If you-
either of these.
I do agree.
Some
In the
people could
meta,
make a case for it because if you argue that Anki Brainstorm Global Dia is a must run. Dang. Oh, look at that.
And what you
Condition
get is a
106K.
106k. You have a
Oh.
1065 with.
Eggy Diet is a condition, so 1065 combo.
It's like, I don't know. It's not worth it. You have bombs. You have one.
I mean, again, it's this.
I don't think I can give it anything but like niche or niche minus. It's just like whatever. Alright, we've come to the other change effect of the Yashuko.
That's a lot of
Or the
text.
change of other.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
look,
The edge is off the
I will-
charts.
I will simplify it. So when you change into this from the other 1-0, it becomes a 7-5 that cannot side. And all your other characters gain Little Demon trait. Whoa.
No,
And then
the entire board gets Little Demon.
Okay, so Ash gets
No.
1k bigger. Give all of the characters.
no. All
Demon
other.
and-
Yes.
Yeah. All other, 'cause
all
she's-
Other
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah,
She's a demon, the rest are
Yeah.
little demons.
yeah, there we go.
And then if you change from this into the other one, you get 5-5 level 0 2 soul beaters.
Wouldn't Ash get demon and little demon?
Yes. And music. You probably got
No,
music already.
no, she will not get Little Demon herself. Unless you have two
But
of them.
another character gets
unless
Little
two of
Demon.
them, unless two of them come out, then they give each other Little Demon.
No, but another character will get Little Demon, so then Ash gets Little Demon. Also, this means that Ash can now be Little Demon.
What the f-
I mean, he can also be sexy and girl and Chuni.
So now
why
we got
bother?
Matchbox. Sexy Grill, Little Demon, Chuni, Ash.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
Lunchbox.
This is niche. This is the Yashuko waifu deck. I don't think there's any reason to play it otherwise. All right. Morning Escape 5-5. Nah.
It's just two vanillas in a row. They're both bad.
Yeah, correct. Because that 2-1 is just straight up worse than the other Ruby, so there's not even a reason to play it for the Ruby name. Honimaru Kunikida 2295. She's
It's a bad
really
beat.
small. It's if you have one or fewer characters in your back row, this can't attack. So, I mean that's barely a drawback. But there are better 2/2s to be playing in this set.
Yeah. I mean, we already established that a 2-1, basically 9.5k with 2 soul.
Mhm. Okay, so let's
Something bad
finish it up.
Yeah.
One second. My Skype has decided to finally crash.
Okay, we've got 2 events, so just yeah.
Let's see what I can do. The card text won't be working. But
That's
I should be able
fine.
to change
I
the
can just
images.
talk about it.
Yes.
So the first card is Smile of a Pretty Girl. It's a 1/1/3/5 counter. This is probably fine in any deck that wants to wall. I don't think the meta deck will want that because they want to play the bombs, and 4Ks aren't exactly huge. If you're playing the change to the Ruby, that's probably fine. If you're playing the blue deck, which runs the 1/1 fatties and maybe the 1/1/0 Kanan, this is also probably fine. But at that point, like, anyway, look. Yeah, this
Pretty
card I
niche.
think is niche by default since you don't want it in the meta deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one.
Last one. So 1/3 Little Demon Summoning. So instead of reading the actual effect, I'm going to read the flavor text. Final cursed project. Lucifer Unleashed. Summoning the little demons with the magical power of 20 million. Looking good.
Notably, she does not summon Lucifer. That is done.
That would be pretty good, actually.
More
Wait, no,
notably,
no.
the
No, it
policy
wouldn't.
the policy goes to is a Catholic.
No, no.
Lucifer
Lucifer
only gets the
would be a
counter when
3/2.
put into
Yeah,
play
he'd be a
from
3/2
the
vanilla.
effect.
All right. Anyway, so what it does is you choose the 2/2 Yoshiko from your waiting room and play it on any slot on stage.
You can't play it, you don't have a Yoshiko on board already, yo.
Oh no! What a difficult proposition. Yeah. No, this card is
Lord.
obviously this is niche. Oh, you could even call it niche plus, but I don't think you have enough cards to call it niche plus, and that card needs cards to run. I'm gonna call it niche.
Yeah, straight yes.
Yeah,
And
niche is
everyone
fair.
calls it niche. All right. So, anyway, that's yellow. That's the cast done. We'll be back with the overview cast.